Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I am Murad Agriculture, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agriculture Studies, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Today's lecture topic is Chapter 2, Section 2. And this is the first lecture of this section. And the section name is Fish Pond. Because this is the agriculture sector, and we know we have got 5 or 6 basic sector in agriculture in our country, which is crop, livestock, poultry, fisheries and forestry. So for fisheries sector, we need to know the fish pond, where we cultivate the pond, how we cultivate, what will be the characteristics of pond, and what will be the physical, chemical properties of pond, and what will be the food of pond. So today, this lecture you can understand after complete this lecture, characteristics of ideal pond and the properties of pond water. And next point is the natural feed of pond, which I will discuss later. So first point is characteristics of ideal pond. What will be the ideal pond characteristics? So it sometimes depends the size, shape and depth of the pond water, but there should be ideal characteristics of a pond for selecting a pond. First is flood free. The pond, definitely you should select the pond will be flood free. That means little bit rain water or little bit flowing water will not make the fish pond flooded. Otherwise your fish will be moved from or you can lose your fish from your pond. That is why you have to make big bank side of the pond. So when the little rain or any other water come in the pond, that time that will not overflow through the pond. That is why we need this point, which is flood free. Next point is the soil. The soil should be any type of soil you can choose, or you can dig a pond for fish culture, but best or ideal is the loamy soil or little bit silty loamy soil and little bit clay loam soil is best for a ideal pond. Next is what will be the depth. The ideal depth is 0.75 to 2 meter, but it depends on your fish quantity. Sometimes it depends on the fish place, but you can choose the ideal is 0.75 to 2 meter. Light and air. Next one is light and air. That means you should select the place where proper ventilation and proper airflow and the pond get proper light. Otherwise, if you found any plant beside the bank of the pond, then proper sunlight and proper air will not go to the pond water. If not, then proper photosynthesis will not occur inside the pond. If that is happen, then the natural feed will not grow properly inside the pond. That is why you need to make sure the proper light enter in the pond. Second thing is, if not proper air goes into the pond, then not create or increase the oxygen capacity inside the pond. If there will be not enough oxygen, then fish will not survive, that will die, and even the natural food will be not increase or growing properly. So make sure there will be enough light and air arranged in the pond. Next point is depth of the mud not exceed 20 to 25 centimeter. That means underneath the bottom layer of the pond there will be mud present in the layer. In that mud will be not too much, otherwise fishes will be go inside the mud, and when you catching the fish with the help of net, that time you will unable to catch all type of fish. Even some fish like voracious fish or like catfish like magur, shing, tangla, this type of fish go underneath the soil, underneath the mud, and that will a big loss for your fish cultivation. Next point is area. the ideal area will be 20 to 25 decibel, but I told you before, this will depends on your quantity of fish, on your budget, everything. Next point is, if rectangular, if the land size is rectangular like this, that should be good for your harvesting or collecting the fish. Otherwise, if that is a round shape, that will not good for your harvesting. And this one is good. And the other thing is, if the slope is 1.2, which is the pond should be a slope underneath. That means if the pond is like that, here will be slope underneath. That means this is called 1.2. If this is not 1.2 slopey, then the providing fish feed, providing medicine, and catching the fish from this is pond will be not good. So and that will be decrease your working capacity. That is why you need to do underneath is a little bit slant curve, which is slopey underneath, and the ratio will be 1:2. So this is the characteristics of an ideal fish pond. Next point is talking about properties of the pond water. Before you starting the cultivation of fish, you need to understand the properties of a fish pond. If you do not understand the properties of a fish pond, then you will unable to do some work which is very profitable for your fish culturing. So that is why you need to understand the properties. First one is, there is two type of properties. One is physical properties, the other one is chemical properties. So what is the physical properties? First one is depth. If the pond depth is too much, or that time the pond will not getting the oxygen underneath. So the pond will not be too much depth, or will not be too much smaller depth. So that is why it will be medium is good. Otherwise, when it's too much deep, that time the light will be not get inside properly, the oxygen will not get inside the pond water properly. Then if that is not, photosynthesis will not occur, and fish will be not get enough natural feed and enough oxygen in the depth pond. This is the first physical properties. Next properties is temperature. So in temperature will be you have to think about the temperature. That means in summertime, think about this, if the pond water is too much hot, that time is harmful for fish. Even in winter, temperature is cold, that time fish will increase more. That means growing capacity of fish is a little bit lower. That is why that time you have to stop the providing supplementary food, because naturally the fish growing capacity in winter season is lower. If you provide more supplementary food, that will be decrease or wasting your money. Rui fish best growing temperature is 25 to 30 degree Celsius. So it depends on the fish to fish, that this is the rui fish temperature. So think about in summertime, little bit water hyacinth or any topapana, if present in the top of the water, then it will one side of the top of the water, that is good for the fish, because fish can stay in that shade when that is too much hot or warm. Next is turbidity. Turbidity, when too much mud underneath the water, that time rainfall or any other water flow occurred, that time the water will be turbid. So turbid water is not good for pond water as well, because when the water is turbid, that time light and oxygen do not enter in the water properly. So if the oxygen and light is not entering the water properly, same thing, no photosynthesis, no natural feed grow inside the pond, and no oxygen. So that will be harmful for your fish culture. Next point is sunlight. Same thing, you need proper sunlight, but too much sunlight is no good. So that is why you have to provide moderate or like a medium sunlight. So if you avoid the sunlight in summer season, you leave water hyacinth or topapana one side of the pond corner, then that shade will be help for fish which is stay in that place because that place is cold or cool. So this is the physical properties of pond water. Next point is chemical properties of pond water. What is the chemical properties? First one is dissolved oxygen. So if there is not enough dissolved oxygen, that will very harmful for natural food as well as fish as well. So if the fish will not get enough dissolved oxygen inside the pond water, that will be the fish will not grow properly. Eventually they will die. The at least 5 gram per liter dissolved oxygen should present in the pond water. Which is next point is dissolved carbon dioxide. We need dissolved oxygen, even we need the carbon dioxide as well. Here you see below 12 gram per liter, that means 12 ppm carbon dioxide is not poisonous. So that means if that type of carbon dioxide is present in the pond, that is good for our pond water, because we know that there will be some natural food present in the pond water. So if there is no carbon dioxide, that natural food, that means some plant will not grow properly. Even 1 to 2 ppm good in pond water, that means dissolved carbon dioxide will be 1 to 2 ppm is good in pond water. ppm means parts per million. ppm means parts per million, which is, that means 1 million 1 parts present in the pond water. Next point is pH level. We know that pH level is, if the pH level, the pH range is 1 to 14. So below more than 7 is alkaline and less than 7 is acidic in the pond water, is soil or water. That means if the soil pH point water pH is 6.5 to 8.5, that is good enough for cultivating the fish. But if it is less than 4, that means that is acidic, or more than 11 that, or more than 9, that will be alkaline. If the soil pH is less than 5, less than 4, that is acidic. That time we can apply some lime in the pond, that will neutralize the water. Or if that is more than 9, that means more than 11, that will be alkaline. That time we can apply ammonium sulfate. And next point is phosphorus. Phosphorus, after reacting, that will make the phosphate inside, that will good for some natural feed as well. So this is the properties of the pond water and characteristics of ideal pond. Now I'll discuss one important topics, which is plankton. So what is plankton? If you go to your book, which is page number 46, you can find the plankton. So what is plankton? Plankton is a microscopic freely particles which present in the pond water. That means this is a microscopic aquatic, and if you go to here, you can have a look some picture, which is page number 46. All type of plankton you can found here. So what is plankton? Plankton is a aquatic microscopic animal particles or microscopic particles, and this is two types, which is two types. One is phytoplankton and the other one is zooplankton. phytoplankton. What is phytoplankton? Phytoplankton is microscopic plant particle is called phytoplankton, and microscopic animal particle is called zooplankton. So if you go to here, page number 46, you can have a look the picture of the phytoplankton here, and this is the phytoplankton present in the underneath zooplankton present underneath the water. So what is the example of phytoplankton? Chlorella and Anabaena. Chlorella, Rella and Anabaena. Anabaena is the example of phytoplankton, and zooplankton example is Rutifer and Daphnia. Daphnia and Rutifer. You can find some more example as well in the book in your page number 46. So what is plankton? Plankton is a aquatic microscopic particle which present freely movement freely present in the pond water, and this is two types. One is phytoplankton and the other one is zooplankton. Phytoplankton is plant particle present in the water body, and this is called example is Chlorella and Anabaena, and zooplankton is a plant animal particle which is example is Daphnia and Rutifer. So this is the natural feed present in the pond. So this is the today's lecture. I discussed about the characteristics of fish pond and then properties of the pond water and plankton. So you have to underline each and every line for your MCQ as well. And for CQ, this is you can find this can come in the CQ. Even the characteristics for 2 marks, which is explain the ideal pond characteristics or explain the physical properties of pond water for 2 marks. Or you can find this one as well for 3 marks or 4 marks as well, and this one you can this one can get in the exam 1 marks, 2 marks, and CQ and MCQ as well. So thank you very much for today's first lecture.